I mean, we got to be excited about the future. We got to do things that make us want to live. You know, it cannot always be about problems every day. I mean, do you want to wake up every morning and everything's just a problem? Well, what inspires you and what makes you excited about the future? There's got to be some things like that.
Welcome to Busy Brain Club, where thinking is free and we should do more of it. In this video, we're going to discuss the future of humanity. That might sound beyond your pay grade, but you gotta listen up. The future depends on it. There was a time in my life I had an existential crisis, and I looked to the world and I saw the things that are wrong with it and couldn't see a way out. At one point in time, I even came up with this grand plan to do some innovation in the agricultural and the food production sector, combining a bunch of technologies, including advanced robotics and renewable energy and some other technologies. But after careful analysis, I realized how much it would take, decades, and I was too chicken shit basically to begin. I knew not only will I encounter financial hurdles, but I'll have political hurdles, and I'm going to piss off some very, very powerful people. Now, granted, it was a project in my home country of Jamaica. I'm not afraid to admit that if I was successful, it would have made Jamaica a better place. I say that to say this. When I see Elon Musk doing his thing with Tesla and SpaceX, and he's putting his hands into the fire and he's getting things done, despite how many times I might disagree with him about a bunch of stuff, he's doing what I didn't do, and he's a better man for it. He started something and he never quit. So what exactly does that have to do with the future of humanity? Well, you see, I grew up with a TV show called Star Trek Generations. That was my introduction to Star Trek. Hold your horses. I'm trying to make a point. All you Star Wars fans, just chill out. In a Star Trek future, no one talks about how much things cost, because technology has become so advanced that everything is abundant. Food is abundant. Shelter is abundant. Humanity has moved beyond the for-profit model. It primarily focuses on resources. It means societies that are in Star Trek are motivated by different things than where we are today. Star Trek is a glimpse of what our future might look like. One of adventure and accomplishments. It is that reason why part of the catchphrase "to boldly go where no one has gone before" resonates with me. And as a little boy, I hoped our future would look something like that. But then when I grew up as an adult, when the reality hits and life and poverty and an oppressive financial system makes me think differently, makes me feel hopeless, and I was jaded for a long period of time. Two things change, and I no longer think in such terms. One is we're blessed to be in a time to witness the efforts of Elon Musk. The second most important thing, what would surprise some people, happened in 2009 when Bitcoin was launched. Now, I'm not going to get into the details and the technicalities of Bitcoin. There is a gazillion videos on the internet that will tell you in many different ways how this thing works. But needless to say, it is one of the two most important things to get to the Star Trek future, Elon Musk being one of them. So the question you might ask yourself, again, is how in the world does Elon Musk then separately Bitcoin gets us to the Star Trek future? People will see the obvious connection, SpaceX and Elon's rocket company. But like I said, Star Trek future is more than just flying around in spaceships. It's a way of life in an abundant future. So here's how I think this should play out. Elon Musk is pushing for the electrification of transportation. He's essentially forcing us to adopt electric battery-operated vehicle, including implementing battery storage. So he's basically transforming the energy sector, but he's using cars to fuel that transition. So the majority of our transport ends up going electric. We also transform our existing energy production infrastructure. Most of the energy would be generated from renewable sources, and a few nuclear power plants here and there. When that energy infrastructure is complete, our cost to produce energy will fall to the marginal cost of the production and the maintenance of that infrastructure. And if maintenance can be automated and roboticized, then energy will be essentially free. This concept will be hard to understand because how can it be free? Won't there be a power company to charge for the services, even if it's Tesla? Well, you got to hold that thought because it's important when we're going to discuss the second most important thing, which is Bitcoin. But let's continue. So Tesla transforms the energy sector, right? Adding automation and robotics, and that will end up transforming other sectors like food production, artificial intelligence, etc. Building a communication platform, Skynet, with satellites providing internet to the global citizens of the world. Regardless of geographical location, you will become infinitely more important in the near future. Eventually, we'll get used to the sight of rockets launching every day, exploring Mars. Everything I said sounds futuristic. It sounds very expensive. And this is where Bitcoin comes into the picture. What people misunderstand about Bitcoin is they quantify it in terms of our existing financial system. That is a big mistake. Because our existing financial system is debt-based and broken. The perpetuation and defense of this system is the reason for so much pain experienced by countries and the poor pockets of society. It siphons the productivity of its citizens through inflation, and the value transfer goes into the prices of asset classes the average person cannot afford. This isn't unique to any country. It is a global phenomenon. Because like I said earlier, our financial system is inherently broken. The equations just don't add up. There's too much asymmetry. There's too much reliance on good stewards, a competent steward, to keep this thing going. Bitcoin and the protocol itself eliminates all those problems. It allows citizens of the planet to transact with other citizens on the planet with money or value that is native to the internet. There is no government on this system. They cannot turn it off. And this was created in response to the 2008 crisis. There is no middleman. It is a gift from the heavens. So, as we advance with technology, what do you notice happens? From cassettes to CDs to MP3 players to Spotify subscriptions. As you advance technology, you get more for less money. It is the reason why a TV gets bigger each year, but the price is the same. But the capitalists, the for-profit system, the banking industry cannot allow prices to continue falling to the point where it becomes the cost of the materials that comprise of what you're buying. Instead, as we advance technology, it becomes cheaper and more efficient to manufacture. Most of those benefits go somewhere else. We see those innovations as profits, and it is reflected in the price of stock, in earnings, and it feeds the system that steals wealth from poorer parts of the population. In a Bitcoin system, however, a world where governments and citizens of the world transact in Bitcoin, in that world, the price will be allowed to continue falling, and the money you've worked in the past becomes more valuable to make purchases in the future. And at some point, things that weren't free will become free. It might start with bottled water, a whole industry of robots, supply chains that runs on renewable energy, also managed by AI robots, can provide us with free bottled water. There will be barely any humans in the loop, and you could easily ask for volunteers to work to provide their labor to help run the factory that provides the free water. Everyone wins in that scenario. This applies to everything, including energy generation and distribution. That's the beginning of the Star Trek future. And the only way we get there is to support the things that get us there. Despite what you might feel about Elon Musk, political opinions don't matter. He is a key piece in the puzzle because how many areas his companies influence. What's funny about all of this is Elon likes Bitcoin, but he isn't a fanatic about it. And I don't expect him to be, because he's not the end all be all of all things we need to do. He can be the authority on rockets and energy, but he can still be a dumbass when it comes to finance. People have to remember, you have to let people be ignorant of something. I won't ask Elon Musk for the best Italian restaurant if I could ask him, because who knows? He probably still eats hot dogs and donuts. So I'm not going to go to him for such things or such advice, but I'll go to him for advice on rockets and batteries. I want certain outcomes for the future, and our civilization and Elon Musk, Bitcoin are pieces in that puzzle. Elon is forcing an energy revolution, and Bitcoin, a technology built on it, is going to be the catalyst for financial revolution. Mark my words, the future world will look orders of magnitude better. When I look at the world, this is what I see. I see the planet Earth. I don't see lines in the sand. I know they exist, but I don't see them. In a Star Trek future, no one sees the lines either. We all live on the same planet together, we swim in the same pool, and we piss in the same pool. So when you see me cheering on Elon, just understand why I'm doing it. The story doesn't end with Elon, and he knows it. That's why he said, this life shouldn't be all about problems. You should sometimes take a moment and think not just of yourself, support the things that will change the world for our collective future. Be curious and ask questions, ask tough questions about things you currently believe to be true. If you want the future to be good, you have to build it. Posterity. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, thank you very much. If you want to support the channel, please hit the like button. You can hit the subscribe button. That is free. Thank you for watching again. I'll see you in the next video.